Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Learn with Jason. Today on the show, we have my friend Eli Fitch. How you been, man?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me on.
Absolutely. I got to say, mate, I probably should have taken this like before we got on live TV, but you look awesome. It looks like you're looking good, man.
Thank you. Yeah. So I guess we can dive into a little about me. Uh,
Absolutely.
I took like a year off of conferences and community stuff. In fact, this is like my first community like thing in like a year in order to just kind of de-stress and focus on health and habits. So I stopped drinking and lost like 40 pounds and change, and I'm feeling generally really good about lots of stuff.
God, that's awesome. Good for you. Um, and also, hello everyone. Thank you for the sub, Robert Tables. Thank you for the raid, Clark. This is awesome. We're off to a great start here today. Um, so yeah, outside of your like focus on health, what else should people know about you? What else is like good information about Eli Fitch?
Well, I'm a senior engineer at Mapbox. I lead the Mapbox Studio and API Styles teams. That's kind of like my day job. I also like to work on like graphic stuff and like WebGL, game development. I'm working on my own Game Boy game right now, which has been
Ooh,
a really fun journey. And like maybe we'll have a little bit more to say about that
we
in like 6 months.
want like a
Um,
follow up episode on this.
but yeah, sort of like my day job is creating web tools for creative people, and what I like to do outside of work is creative stuff with code.
Nice. Very, very cool. So today on the show, we are going to be doing something that starts out maybe not sounding that exciting, which is make maps, but then we're gonna make it super fun because, like, first of all, I think, well, maybe I should walk that back actually because I don't know why I think that. Like, why isn't it fun to work with maps? And I think maybe my answer to that is that I've largely uh, struggled with hard APIs when it comes to making maps, and I think that's something that you are kind of uniquely trying to tackle, right? Is like making APIs pleasant um, at Mapbox, right?
Yeah, I mean that's part of what we do. But I think like what we'd really like to do is to not have you interact directly with APIs to create like a map that you can show and be able to do the bulk of that work in a GUI, which is
Oh,
Mapbox
interesting.
Studio, the app that I work on day in and day out. And for the longest time, really until like late last month. Mapbox Studio is a tricky product. I mean, we kind of gave ourselves a pass by saying, it's Photoshop for map design. It's a professional design tool. Having a learning curve is understandable and accepted. So deal with it. Learn how maps are made. Learn how map data is visualized, and then you'll be able to understand how to design a cool map. But like if you just want to make a
that's
perfect
that's my approach to problem solving. Is like,
yeah
hey, look, just get smarter, and then it'll be fine.
this isn't our problem. This is your problem. Um, but it turns out that like when you have a really diverse user base of people who are professional cartographers and designing map is their whole entire job, and you're trying to create tools that let these people create incredibly powerful, expressive, deeply custom map styles, it's really hard to also bring along people who are like, I am a product design intern at a 3-person startup and I want to make a branded map for my website. And
Hmm.
like, I want it to look like the rest of my website. And I don't want to learn how to create data sets and tile sets and learn about layers and style properties to do that. Um, why don't we sign in and go to Studio?
Yeah,
I'm
let's
gonna
do it.
I'm gonna show this, and it's like part of this. Part of why I think like map styling has gotten a lot more fun is we shipped this amazing new thing like late last month that I'd been working on for like more than a year, and it's really cool. Under the hood, it's basically React JS for map styling.
Oh,
But what it means is instead of like directly setting each style property. If you just go to studio.mapbox.com, there's a link in a menu, but
I think I
uh,
I think it's here, right?
there we go. Yeah, there you go. Um, Instead of having to set each individual style property, it's a lot more ergonomic. So go ahead and create a new style.
Okay.
And let's start with my favorite, which is monochrome.
Monochrome. Oh,
You can
this
just
is.
customize monochrome.
I'm just gonna play with these for a second, just kind of look at what we've got. So this is
Yeah,
like
it's
a
actually
topographical map.
yeah. There's really good shit in here, and now it's so much easier to make big broad changes. Like click navigation day at the bottom, and right, the whole map just changes on the fly.
What?
And all of this is because we've adopted this kind of React-like model under the hood, where uh, instead of managing individual style properties, you're setting a prop on a style component, and then our engine takes that and compiles it into a real map style and takes your prop and puts it into all the different layers where it needs to go. So instead of like if you wanted to start with a purple map and go to like a bluish map, you used to have to like go through each individual layer, set the color and do all these things. And now it's a button click.
Yeah, yeah. This is really cool. So okay, so I've selected monochrome. I've got the sky variation, and I'm just gonna click customize.
Yeah, customize.
Okay,
Let's go down to it.
let's dive in.
All right, now, because I am in a Game Boy state of mind, highly Game Boy like, you can go ahead and dismiss the onboarding.
Yeah, you are my onboarding.
I'm
right?
the onboarding.
Yeah.
I'm the onboarding.
Okay, what else is new? I'm gonna let you tell me about this stuff too. So I'm clearing all of my notifications.
Yeah, and let's do a Game Boy theme because I'm about it. So go to you see how it says colors on the right, and you have that one color swatch that's blue. I'm sorry, not on the right, on the left.
On the left, this one.
I have to hold up like an L to know what's right and what's left. Like for real. I'm going like, all right, which direction am I turning? Which direction am I turning?
That's what we're really learning.
Like Eli, hands on the wheel. Hands on the wheel.
So yeah, that seems like that's going to
swatch.
be that's dangerous for you, right? Because you used to also be you were a race car driver, right?
Yeah. So when I was a kid, I raced karts and then graduated to like open wheel racing, which is like more than a go-kart, but less than like an Indy car.
Okay.
And did that through college and did some sports car racing and like test driving for like actual real teams for a while.
Very cool. I assume that the thing that kept you from going pro was the
Yeah, it was always that. Like the problem is I didn't really live in the right part of the country to pursue NASCAR because NASCAR would have been really easy because I would just hold up the left and then just turn like this and all those problems would be solved. When you have to turn left and right, it creates real issues.
Good stuff. Okay, all right. So but we're focusing up here. Here we go. Okay.
So yeah, click on the swatch for base, like all the way on the left-hand side.
Got it.
We can just roll with our one color, and then you see where we have our hex code, where it's like E something something something. Put in EEFBE0.
Ooh, that's.
And we kind of like all of a sudden it's kind of like more of a Game Boy type of palette.
Yep.
Do you want to zoom in a little bit, and we can start like getting our map to feel a little bit more custom. So
this made me happy. I did the pinch to zoom, and it just worked. Like I was my brother just moved to Portland, and so I've been looking at websites like Apartment Finder and stuff, trying to help him look at places to go. And I'll pinch to zoom, and it zooms in the whole website. I'm like, no, that is clearly not what I wanted to do.
Well, I'm glad that actually works. I don't think we actually test that. I'm like, oops. Yeah, so also, if we find bugs today, it's definitely not my fault. Somebody else fixed that code. I always write perfect code every time.
Me too.
Not my responsibility. I disavow all knowledge. So go to Road Network, the Road Network component.
Network.
So you have your components list on the side, and basically what these components are is like a grouping of layers that are like interleaved with each other. And you don't have to worry about their order. You don't have to really worry about the layers that they're managing under the hood. It allows you to interact with the map at a super high level. And you can turn things like turn on and off highway shields and make icon changes just by making these like high level, just changing props basically. And for I haven't written a
Whoa.
post or finished a post about the architecture of this thing, but it really is. It looks very much like a React tree if you're looking at it sort of JSX free. And like what you're doing right now is setting props on a component, and those components are deriving values from those props and passing them to layers, kind of in the same way that a React component might derive values from props and pass them to HTML elements. So like it makes it a lot more flexible and easy to create different maps, because instead of having to essentially write like every HTML page over and over again for your website, to continue that analogy, I guess, like you can start from the same base of components and just change a couple prompts and create a whole bunch of different pages off the same base.
Yeah.
So yeah, scroll to the top and let's go from the standard road network to simple, because standard has way more information than we need, and we can get by with simple. And we lose all this complexity. And what we just did is we cut the number of road layers from like 30 something to just a handful. So now our style will run a little bit faster.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's cool. This is slick. These are like all the buttons that I want to be able to tweak on maps.
I know. And it's like, for me, like, I think maps are cool. Like any good bearded white guy, I've got maps hanging on the wall in my house, right? Like we're required to have that, I think. But like that's kind of the extent of my map design knowledge. Like I'm a JavaScript engineer. Copper, no, style components are not open sourced, and we don't have a way to like create your own components yet. We wanted to ship with like the minimum feature set we could to get it into the hands of people, but component authoring and like being able to work with your own components is something that we want to offer in the future for sure. Sorry, where was I? Right. So like my extent of map design knowledge is actually pretty small. And so components it's really nice for me, because like this is the extent of control that I'm comfortable with personally. And like I probably know more about how maps are styled, maps are made than the average bear. And if this is valuable for me, I imagine it's got to be valuable for like the true novice.
Well, it's for someone like me who, my experience with maps is, I think at one point I wrestled with Google Maps APIs so that I could put together like custom icons on restaurants to send a map to people. And it was like, I just like gave up at some point because I got so overwhelmed by the amount of options and settings there were.
Check this out. Zoom in a little bit closer and let's go to a denser part of the map. This is probably okay. I know my way around San Francisco a little bit. If go to like a cool area. Go to like the Tenderloin. That's really cool, right?
I don't know where the Tenderloin is.
Nobody's ever attempted to stab me there. That's great. North. Go a little bit north. Actually, let's try something. You see the little magnifying glass at the top right? Click that and type Tenderloin. Yeah, and then just zoom in there.
Immediately cool.
And then go to point of interest labels.
Point of interest labels.
The point of interest labels component. Change the label style from text only to text and icon.
Okay.
And now let's control density by category.
What?
And now ratchet everything down except bars and restaurants, or like food and drink.
Bars and food and drink.
Yeah.
Okay.
And ratchet, take everything back down.
Get out of here.
We don't care about arts and entertainment.
Get out
of here. We want to eat.
We don't want to learn stuff. We don't need stores. Historic, absolutely
history. Get that out of here. That's already happened.
Landmarks. Come on, nobody cares about that. I don't need to sleep. I just want something to eat.
It is the Tenderloin, so maybe leave medical at maximum.
Good.
Yeah, we can turn all this down, and then I want to show you like my favorite thing, which is really, really cool. Now go back down to the color where it says base, and then just like click like on the bottom the hue slider, and just change it to something totally crazy, like blue or purple or whatever. The icon's changed color. And
beautiful.
That's really sneaky. We're re-rasterizing SVG's client side on the fly, which was a very, very tricky thing to do. But before this, like, you couldn't do that. Like, you would have to change the color of every layer on your map, download all of your icons, open them in Illustrator, recolor them to the color that you wanted, and then upload them again. And we're rasterizing them on the client, up and like adding them to the map, and then on like a minutely interval, syncing them with our sprite API.
Mm-hmm.
And the coolest thing is like, we're not using off-screen canvas. We're not using WebAssembly because the browser support wasn't good enough. We are just measuring how long it takes to rasterize an image and trying to do the minimum amount on the main thread before it disrupts the frame. So we've given ourselves like a 1.5 millisecond budget for sprite rasterization. And so we rasterize 1.5 milliseconds of sprites per frame. And it's all happening on the main thread. Which is really sneaky.
That's extremely
really
sneaky.
Happy with that.
Something that y'all should definitely watch if you're interested, because like Eli's a wizard this way. Do you remember what's the link for that perceived performance talk you did?
What is the link for the perceived performance talk I did? Go to my website, eli.wtf.
Excellent website.
And go to words.
This is
and it's on
so
here somewhere.
Good.
The last one I did was at Craft. Maybe don't watch that video because I had not slept in like 36 hours. But and there's no video from Perfmatic. The one from Craft is the best one. The one from Craft is the best one.
All right, I'm sending.
I've given the same talk a couple times, but like a little tweaked. There's a lot of sort of.
You should all go like 100% go watch that talk. It's great. It's just full of gems on how to make things better. Yeah. So now I'm okay. Back in studio, we've got. Oh no, I lost my. Remind me what the hex code is for the Game Boy. It was like
EEFBE0.
Okay.
Which very scientifically, I looked at the source of my favorite emulator, and I'm like, that's what it uses for background. That's fine.
Perfect. Okay, so we'll go.
What else should we tweak? Let's do 3D buildings. That was another huge pain in the ass, where like you'd have to add a layer and like select the right data and like manage your height, and now it's just a toggle, and you get 3D buildings.
What does halo mean?
Halo width is the width of like glow that you get around labels in order to help make them more readable. So I think that we might actually want to hide that if we don't have labels. That might be something that we need to fix.
Okay.
Actually, we have like a little question mark, and if you hover that, it tells you what it is, and it probably contradicts me.
Increase the width of house number halos. Okay, so I've got house numbers.
Yeah, so I guess it only really works if you have house numbers enabled.
Where are my house numbers at?
I don't know where house numbers are at. Maybe that's a bug, or maybe they don't. They only exist for like residential things. I don't know.
I don't know either.
That might be a bug.
I'm going down this way. Oh, here we go. Here's a house number. I'm gonna put my halo width up. Now I see what it does now. So there's like a little bit of a glow, and then that glow is gone.
I guess in the stream, the colors are compressing. I can't see the label, but I believe you that it's there. Thank you for letting me off.
I mean, it's not a bug. The contrast on it is super low. So like they're here, but they're little baby labels.
Okay.
Anyways,
what else should we do to like make a more transit-y Game Boy themed map? I don't know. Maybe some cool natural features would be nice. Do you want to click onto the natural features component and see what kind of options we have?
Natural features.
Oh, that's more for like labels for things. It's not really going to give us like cool terrain and stuff. We need to start with the outdoor component if we want the outdoor template if you wanted that.
Oh yeah.
Let's go to transit and try and emphasize public transit, because I don't think that the character we're going to be building into our little app is able to operate a motor vehicle. So let's hop into the transit component and text and icon. That's good. I think that, well, I'll just spoil it. I think that Charmander has warrants, and I think that he's been rated as a flight risk. And so we don't want him taking any airplanes. Let's turn off airports.
Okay.
Let's turn off ferries because he doesn't want to be anywhere near water. Railways are safe.
Okay.
Uh, and we can turn on transit labels. Oh, that's just granular stuff. Okay. But yeah, this looks
Cool.
okay.
Cool.
This looks good. This
Yeah.
looks good.
All right.
Icon color scheme monochrome. That's what we want. We kind of want this like a green motif.
Oh yeah. So here now we've got. I can see the BART labels.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see what
There's
else.
another train over here.
And I also kind of feel like we should de-emphasize borders because I feel like Charmander doesn't really recognize like boundaries between states and countries. They're an international superstar.
I get it. All right. Um, where are borders? Here's a border.
Yeah, so borders would be contained in the administrative boundaries component.
Okay.
We can toggle those off.
Country boundaries, state, province, but none of that.
Yeah, let's just get that off.
Get it out of here. Okay.
Cool.
All right. I mean, what is this like? Charmander goes west.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do something weird like that. Okay.
Okay.
So I don't know. We've taken a little tour through Studio and it's fun. Oh, I know what we should do. We need to let's add a custom layer and then we can reference that custom layer in our app
Okay.
and we can assign like all of our Charmander data to that. So you want
I'm
to go
in.
to the layers tab.
Yep.
This gives you also insight into like the different layers that are housed in each component. So like when you're messing around with the road network component, it impacts these different groups of like road layers. And that kind of like, if you want to have the React and HTML mental model, these are your HTML elements. These layers are things that the map renderer understands, and the component kind of wraps those and configures them, so you don't have to worry about the details so much.
Got it.
But
So
like, we still
if
give
I
you control.
want to like micromanage this, I can come in and
Oh
tweak.
yeah, for sure. So like, go ahead, just directly click on the water, like that you see on the map here, like on the right, and just select water, and that selects the water layer, and you
Okay.
can set a manual override, and set it to whatever color you want. Easy.
Cool. So well, it's yeah, probably something like this. Perfect.
Yeah, and then if you want to get rid of it, you just click revert the override, and it goes right back to what it was.
Nailed it. Okay. All right. I'm in.
All right, let's add a custom layer. There's like this little plus icon at the top left.
Got it.
Okay. And data source. Oh, we won't be able to do this because we haven't created a source for Charmander that yet. That's right. Okay, we can just do this in JavaScript. We don't have to do this in Studio. That's cool.
Get it out
Never
of here.
mind.
Okay.
Never mind.
I'm ready.
All right, so let's go to our let's publish it first, so then we can use our production style rather than like referencing draft and stuff.
This is a nice touch. I like that.
Yeah.
Publish. Was this built in Node? It looks like that's a question in the chat.
Oh, yeah. So Studio is like a fully front end app. It's a React app. It's actually funny. It's been around since like React 0.14, and working in Mapbox Studio is like I compare it to like a Greenland ice core sample of like the history of React. Like we've got like create React, we've got like create element or create class like mixed with like ES6 stuff, and we're still on React 15 and using some things that are like deprecated, so we need to get that in order. But like yeah, it's a React app, a very old React app, and then our backend is a mishmash of mostly Node apps, and because styles, like on the styles team, we have to like process all sorts of funky data that people upload, like turning SVGs into PNGs for sprites and like converting fonts into signed distance fields so they can be efficiently rendered in WebGL. We have a lot of C++ in our stack too, just to keep things fast.
Yeah.
I should also say we are super hiring too. So if the idea of like working on cool like design tools on the one hand, and also wrangling really gnarly, highly performant backend services strikes your fancy, DM me on Twitter. We don't have any like openings listed yet, but I definitely still want to talk to you about it if you think it's cool.
Okay. So I just put Eli's Twitter into the chat. Send him a DM. Go work at Mapbox. Eli's cool. We're seeing that Mapbox looks cool. I'm ready. So I'm ready. So we've got a map. We've made it look like a Game Boy map. We've eliminated, the illusion of nations, so that Charmander doesn't need to exist in any kind of like, no imaginary bars for Charmander. So I wanna like let's do this. Let's make this happen.
Okay, let's do it. So click on the share thing at the top bar.
Okay.
Share and okay, so we want a production style. That's cool. And yeah, developer resources. So we're going to build this for web. Let's grab our style URL, copy that, and paste that down, and our access token, and then
so
we can start building with Mapbox GL.
Let's get in here. I'm going to make a new directory, and we will call this Fun with Mapbox. I'm going to move into it, and I guess let's just...
You want to do just like create React app or something?
We can totally do it in Create React app. Somebody will have to teach me how to do that. I think I've only done Create React app like once. But what I can do is this. All right, so I have an empty directory, and in it, I'm going to, let's do a yarn init. Why? No. Oh, did that work? All right.
Oh, cool.
I guess that character doesn't get recognized. So just some notes. I've got my styles, and then I needed this access token. Now, is this private?
It is, but
well, it's going to get published on the web, right?
Yeah, but you can always go and kill your token later as well if it's being abused.
Okay. And now, is this the sort of thing that like this would be published on the web, like to access?
Yeah. So like that is true. So like,
okay.
I guess it's not really private.
Yeah, it's like
you
a
hackers, you dirty hackers.
you get like the client key and then the client secret. This would be like the key.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now I've got that. I don't need this, right? Like that's where this is coming from.
Yeah. We don't need to download it. You can, but we can just request it from the style API.
Okay.
All right. Now let's do create React app because I forgot how to do web development without it.
Okay. So we can do. I learned a cool thing. So Yarn has a create command, and you can anything that's like a create dash thing, you can just like run it like this.
Really?
Yeah. Isn't that
cool?
cool?
Yarn is so cool.
Wait. Gatsby CLI. Uh-oh. What are you doing? Amplify CLI. What the hell is going on? Well, I guess
we're going to create everything as a Gatsby app.
Yeah. I apparently I don't know. Maybe that's like written into my forever contract. Everything will be Gatsby forever. Now what do I do? Oh, chat is saying that also works in NPM. So you can do NPM init React app as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I've apparently just installed like the entire internet. Give it a.
Well, we can like hop in and just like open a straight JavaScript file and start going here while the framework of the app downloads.
Okay. All right, I'm in. So I will just create is it I guess we can move it. Thing. What are we doing?
Like map.js?
That's what I was looking for. I was like, what? I was like, I have no idea what. Let's see. Autofix on save. Would I like to? Yes. My favorite way to work with VS Code is to blindly click accept on dialogue.
I want the things. Sure.
Yes, I like this. Is this doing anything? I don't know what you are. I do think this just tried to install like literally everything in my global.
Install the entire internet.
Yeah, I think it's getting like my full global yarn packages, which is not what I wanted. Oh no, Sharp, we're doomed. Okay, I'm ready.
All right.
I'm focusing up.
Let's I guess we have to install Mapbox GL. That'll be important.
Okay. So failed. Totally failed. Oh, it probably failed because I like created specify the project directory. So if I do this, is it going to explode? Are you going to do the whole thing again? I don't understand.
I mean,
Maybe
we could also just grab
I could
everything
all
from like a CDN and just start writing stuff in a script tag. Like that doesn't bug me.
yeah, I could theoretically also just Google this. Um, oh, create contains things that would conflict. So let me remove our map file and remove package.json. Try that one more time. It only took a couple seconds, so hopefully it'll go nice and quickly. Show me potato salad.
Yeah, if this becomes like a whole deal, we can just do it in like a script tag.
Okay, if this one doesn't work, we're gonna do a script tag.
Cool.
Come on, doing it. It's doing it. Creating a new React app. Okay, we've gotten much further than the previous 2 tries. Good clip, Chris. Okay, here we go. It's happening.
Cool.
Templates. You can just watch this happen in here too. So we're getting all sorts of fun things. Here's our basic React app. Okay, done. All right. So now I need to add, what was it called? Mapbox.
Mapbox GL, and I think it's just Mapbox dash GL. Like
Mapbox.
it's not org namespace or anything.
Okay. That's what all the cool kids are doing, Eli. Where are you at?
Why did I suggest doing this in React? That was silly. It would be so much easier and faster to just write this in a script tag. What does that like? What does that say about me? Like the crutch. Like I'm like duct taped to the crutches of like modern front end development.
So say we all.
Like what a joker. So yeah, I guess we can like rip all this out and just stick our map in here.
Okay. So I have a div, and now I don't need this logo. I have the app CSS in case we need it. I can probably safely ignore most of that. And I want to inject a map, which do I just
so the first thing we want to do is import Mapbox GL from Mapbox GL.
Okay. Do you have naming conventions? Like, should I capitalize this?
It doesn't make any difference to me.
Okay. Did that install properly? Yes. Why doesn't it like this? Is that like a I've never used you kind of thing?
Maybe yeah, it's because it's not used yet.
Okay.
And let's create a map. So we want to do like const map is new equals new mapboxgl.map. And then we have to pass it some stuff. We have to give it like an HTML element as a container and give it a style URL. And
I assume this is like a capital map, lowercase map.
Yes, it is a capital map. It is a capital M map.
Okay. And I need to give it a container.
Yeah, which I guess
it's just like any element.
Any element. I think.
Oh, do I need to do this the ref way?
I've always done it the ref way.
That's okay.
But I think that you can pass it a selector. No, I think that you can pass it a selector though.
It's fine. Map ref equals use ref, and then we have a div, which will be the ref of map ref. See how much of this I can do from memory. So I've got current. Is that right? Yes. Yes. I guess we'll find out.
I really set myself up to look like a fool here because I don't remember how any of this ref stuff works.
You know what? We're gonna struggle through it together because I vaguely remember how the ref stuff works, and if the worst thing that happens is we go to the React docs, and those are good docs, so we should be okay. Um, all right, so I've set a container. What else did I need?
And I think that the other thing that we need at minimum is our style. So we have to give it a like our style URL, which you copied down.
Okay,
Oh, and we need to set our access token.
get you out of here. So I've got my style, and then is it like access token like this?
No, I think that the access token is like a global thing. So you have to do mapboxgl.access token equals the access token before you create the map.
Map box GL access token equals, and then I'll just put this here. So we should probably put that into an environment variable or something, but it's fine for
Yeah.
now. Does because Create React App doesn't come with environment variables built in. Chat, do you know that? So I've created a map. I've set an access token. I've set the style. Um, Anything else that I need to do?
Yeah, I think that the last thing that we need to do is to make sure that it's styled properly. So
Okay.
like we want like a full screen canvas. So Mapbox.gl comes with CSS that we can just drop, I guess, into our like I guess we could copy and paste it, or we could add a link to it in the on the HTML file in public.
I think I mean it looks like we can just import it straight up. So let's just do that. So I
Okay.
import Mapbox GL slash something.
I think that it should. Ooh, I don't know if it's like how it's packaged.
Okay,
Um,
let's. I think there are some docs that we can poke at. Maybe it'll show us how to do global styles. Styles.
Yeah, I think this is all for like the JavaScript. I am sheep, so I just you follow the examples, and in the examples, everything's just dropped in a link tag, like loading the CSS from a CDN.
From a CDN.
Although I am pretty sure that it is packaged up in like the in the node module.
Let's look. So in the source, we have CSS and Mapbox GL CSS. I'm gonna try something. I'm going to go in to node modules. Let's look at the Mapbox. I bet it's under CSS. Dist Mapbox GL CSS. So if I do like dist Mapbox GL,
It should, I guess, theoretically just work.
I mean theoretically we'll find out. Do I need to do anything with this map?
No, I don't think that you actually do. We'll do stuff with it later, but
Okay.
for now, it has been added.
Okay. So I'm going to pull this up, and I believe it was just yarn start. Yes.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed, fingers crossed.
I believe. What are you doing? Oh. Oh, container must be a
Oh
string
no.
or HTML element. Okay, I forgot how
So I
refs
guess
work. So
the ref didn't work.
use ref. Thank you for saving me from myself. Use ref. Ref container. Use ref. Input L current. Ref equals input L.
Oh, maybe it's because the ref doesn't work until it's current. So maybe like,
We got to put this in a use effect.
yeah.
So we're basically wanting to on mount this, and I'm going to use effect. That'll get a function, and we will look at map ref. And so then we'll just move this into here. Maybe that'll do it. Did you work? Map is assigned a value but never used. That's
Do you want to
fine.
check in elements? Like we can see if the map is here and it's just not being rendered.
Mapbox GL map.
So it looks like it's
canvas.
there. I bet that our CSS isn't being loaded.
Yeah, let's look. Where would they even put that? Like, how does the app CSS get dropped in? Is it just dropped in here? App, Mapbox GL map. Do I need to add a thing?
Oh, maybe you do. Maybe that's a thing.
Let's see, Mapbox GL canary. No, Mapbox GL map. But for whatever reason, it didn't stick because it's picking up a bunch of things. Do I need to make this overflow hidden, position relative?
Being the lemming that I am, I'm just looking at an example on the other screen. Like in the Mapbox GL docs, there's an examples page, and it looks like to create a full screen map, yeah, they do like absolute top bottom width 100 or whatever.
Yeah, so all I did was I'm just gonna do class name equals map, and then we can go into our source. I'm gonna go in here. We've deleted all of that. I'm gonna put in map, and all I added was height 100 VH, and that did it.
Cool.
Maybe, or maybe it didn't. Did I save the other thing? I did not. There we go. All right, so now we got a map.
Okay, cool. Okay, whew, boilerplate done.
Did it.
Okay, so what I think would be really cool would be to like draw a route from like one place to another place and then have Charmander walk along the route.
Yes.
But maybe it's more fun to get Charmander on the screen first.
Yes.
So let's do that.
Okay.
So
I
sent you.
have. How do I do? I put them in here, right? So I have.
Yeah, I think so.
I have these 3 Charmander images.
Which unattributed, I looked and looked and looked for the artist for who drew this little GIF of like Charmander dancing, but I could not find who did it.
And so I just like. How do you do this? What would your naming?
Yeah, so I would
be?
say like Charmander like left or Charmander left foot, and then the one that's standing will do stand, and then the one that has the right foot we would do right, or we could like number them too. That would work.
I don't do a lot of this sort of animation stuff, so figuring out what people's conventions are to keep that in your head is useful. Okay, so we've named these. We've got basically the idea, I believe, is that if we take these 3 images and move between them, it'll kind of look like he's walking, right?
So yeah, or at least dancing.
Yeah, doing something, giving it a little wiggle.
Yeah, we'll like shuffle through them.
Cool. So I have those now, and I'm ready for action. Ready for
yeah. So next we need to add Charmander to the map, and like when you're doing like custom or like fancy stuff on the map, and you want to make like a custom layer that has like really advanced styling or like has an animation in it where you want like control over like shuffling through sprites and stuff, it makes so much more sense to just add it yourself and do it manually. So like a layer is kind of composed of 2 parts. There's like style layer and source layer, and source is like map data, like where is the thing, is it a point, is it a line, what are the coordinates, and then a style layer is like instructions for Mapbox GL of like how to present this thing, and that's what we're like how we'll control what image gets painted.
Okay.
But the first thing is we just need to add a point layer and put it someplace.
Okay.
So we can just create like a const and like write up some GeoJSON.
And this
GeoJSON
is the source layer?
Yeah, for the source layer. And like GeoJSON is like an open spec to define location data, basically. And if you want, we could actually use geojson.io. That's like the best online, straight up easy GeoJSON editor, which I think is like the second search result where you can just go.
What?
Oh, I guess they don't do HTTPS.
IO? Oh, okay.
And then let's go and like just drop a point where you want Charmander to start.
Okay, so let's put Charmander in my neighborhood because I'm still trying to convince everyone to come and hang out in Portland. And so we'll look at cool things to do in Portland. So let's look at, here's the Alberta Arts District, and we're gonna start, I don't know, here. This is a good area. There's fun stuff here. How do I make a point?
There should be like a little marker guy, and then just drop it there.
Okay, done it.
Yeah, and then you can just copy like the contents of the geometry key, or you can copy the whole thing. Actually, that works too.
All right, so let's start here, and we will clean this up as necessary. So
Cool.
We've created a point, and the point has coordinates. And so, do I need to recenter the map?
Yeah. Well, you can define a center for the map. Yeah.
Okay.
And you do that by, it's like one of the properties that you use when creating it. You can choose the lat and the long.
Okay. Should
You
I
can
do
center it
that?
on the same coordinates.
Should I do that up here then?
Yeah. Yeah. It's another option when you create it, and it's just center.
Center. And then is it like this?
No, it's an array.
Array.
It's the same format as is in our GeoJSON.
Got it. So I just drop these in. And theoretically speaking, that should mean that our map is now looking at, I broke it.
Oh, I think we want to set a zoom, because right now we're zoomed to like the whole world. So maybe set zoom 4.
Zoom 6. Enhance. Enhance. That seems about right.
Cool. I had it back. I had the zoom math backwards, which is fine. Backwards is good. All right, and so now I think what we want to do is add a source. So we want to call map.addSource.
Okay, so map.addSource. Is this a function?
Yeah, it's a function, and the first argument is the type of source it is.
Okay.
So that would be the string point.
Capitalized?
No, all lowercase.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the next is like the data that we want to define. So it's 2 keys. The first one is type, and we can declare that to be GeoJSON, and the second one is data. And then I think we can just pass it our data variable.
And we're just going to pass in this one?
Yeah, it should be just fine.
Didn't like something, maybe.
Oh, okay, right, because we're trying to set stuff on the map before the map is loaded. So we want to wrap that in the map on load handler, like map.onLoad.
Map.onLoad. And then we'll drop this in here.
And now it should be happy. Okay, it's happy. We can't see anything yet because we haven't like rendered anything with that data,
Okay.
but the data is like available for us to do stuff with.
Okay.
So quick proof of concept, we just add like a circle layer just to see if it works.
Okay.
So let's do map.addLayer.
Oops. Add layer.
Yeah.
Circle.
It's the rest, like the only options are like an object. It's just properties.
Okay.
And we have to give it an ID, and we can call it whatever we want and call it Charmander. And then source should be point, just like the ID of our source. And then type is
Is this the ID?
Yeah. So I had it backwards. The type of data is defined within the GeoJSON, and that's just the ID. So I think we could name that Steve, and it would still work.
Okay, so I'm gonna do this. So we're gonna have Charmander go on a walk, right? So if we call this like Charmander start, does that seem correct?
Yeah, that seems great.
Okay.
That seems great.
Just to help me keep this in my brain. Oh, I probably need to add more things.
Totally.
So
yeah, and then we want to do type circle just to get something rendered and make sure that it works.
Okay.
And then we want to add the property paint. And within that goes
the property is called paint.
yeah, the property is called paint. And then there are let's do circle radius of 10, and that's I'm sorry. So paint's an object, and circle there are like two main keys that you use to like style things on a map. And it's paint and layout. Okay. But for this, all we need to worry about is paint. And the world's most annoying thing is that the keys in paint are hyphen separated, not camel case.
Boo.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, perfect.
Bingo. So it works. We've got something. Cool. Now, why don't we change, instead of like rendering a circle, why don't we change the data type it is? So instead of circle, change it to, sorry, I'm like frantically looking what makes the most sense at the same time. Change it to symbol.
Symbol. Okay.
And then I don't think we need to give it any properties right away because we're going to set our icon dynamically because we want to be able to shuffle through them.
Okay.
So we can just get rid of the paint property entirely.
Okay.
And then I think what we can do is do map.addImage. Oh no, that's what we want to do. I'm sorry. So we want to like on our layer, we want to set the image property to like the image ID that we want, like Charmander 1 or Charmander stand or something like that. Okay. And then we'll add that image to the map context. So in our like add layer call, we want to add a new key called layout, and then create a property called icon image within that.
And we're going to call that the
Charmander stand.
Okay.
And it's icon dash image. Sorry.
Right.
And then I think what we want to do is call map.addImage.
Map.addImage.
And then the first argument is going to be Charmander stand because that's like the image ID.
Got it.
And then the second one will be the image itself. And
so it's not an object.
Right. So I think that it can accept a couple things, but I think that the way that does anybody remember how Create React App imports images? Because if it just imports it as a string, then that's not going to work.
It looks like
we want to pass it like a path.
Well, it looks like we get an absolute path here.
Oh, okay. So I guess we can probably do localhost 3000. Charmander stand.
Okay. And should that do what we want?
And that should do what we want.
Let's see.
No, it didn't do what we want.
Something.
Icon dash image.
Second argument must be an HTML image element, image data, or an object with width, height, and data. So I need to load image data.
Or we could like create a JavaScript image element, like
that'll be way easier.
Image.
Okay, let's do that. New image, or actually we can just do am I inside the use effect? Yes. Okay. Document dot create element, make it an image, and then we can do image set or image source equals this image. And I don't know if we need this, but I'm going to do it anyways. Charmander standing. And then we should.
And then I think we want to do like an image on load, and then do map.add image after the image is loaded.
On load or
Oh my God, there's a whole GL load image function that I totally forgot about. I think this will work, but if it doesn't, we can use load image. I'm sorry.
It's totally fine. It's okay. But you know what we did? We just #use the platform.
The old guy will be so happy. Boom! And there we go.
Charmander.
We've got Charmanders towering over our town.
This is Charmander in his natural state, which is Godzilla sized.
Totally. Okay, what should we do next? Okay, let's make Charmander like walk in place.
Okay.
So I think what we want to do is use the same pattern that we did to load these images to do the same thing. Maybe we have our own load image function. And then we want to add them all to the map context. So like Charmander stand, Charmander left foot, Charmander right foot. And that just sort of adds them to Mapbox GL's memory and makes it available to use in different layers. And we can swap through them really quick.
Cool. All right. So let's get these. And I'm just going to give us a shortcut here.
Cool.
And that's mostly correct. So we'll return the image. There. Yeah. Okay. So then down here, we can do this map add image, and we'll say load image Charmander stand. Oh wait, we have to do it.
Yeah, because I think we need the image first. It might make sense to do the full map add image thing in our function.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so then we need to...
because if we have to wait for the image to load until, if we have to wait for that before we can add it to the map, we may as well.
And so, in that case, we're basically just doing image name and image, right?
Yeah, I guess we need to pass map, though.
And now we need to pass map. Okay, that's fine. We can do that. And now we should be able to do load image map Charmander stand. And all of this, I'm gonna keep it just in case it breaks. Okay, so we get the same result. So I'm going to delete this. And so theoretically, right? What was it? Left foot, right foot, and now these are going to lay over the top of each other. So we need to do something.
Well, no. Right? All this does is make these images available so that we can reference them in our layer. So we go to the layer and change Charmander's stand to left foot, and then what we'll do is we'll set up an animation loop and swap through these images.
Got it. Okay, so now those images are in memory,
right?
But we're not using them yet. We've basically just said, "Hey, Mapbox, this is an image," and it's like,
yeah,
cool. What do you want me to do with it? Got it. Okay.
Got it. We have the image. We got it.
All right, I'm ready.
Yeah, so let's make sure that works, and let's
it's
okay, cool. So that's there. And then I understand could not be loaded.
I think
it's because we added the layer before the image was there, but then once the image loaded, Mapbox GL is smart enough to fade it in.
Got it. Okay, and that actually, I mean, I kind of like that move of the fade in.
Cool. And then let's do like a set interval maybe. Um, and maybe like do a duration of like 200 or 300 milliseconds. Just because like it'd be fun if it was more like beep boop than like going back and forth every frame.
Yeah, I'm into that. Okay, so I've got my interval, and can I just modify the layer?
I think um, I think that's what we want to do. There should be a way to reference the layer and just update its style property. Let's see.
Yeah, so we added an ID, that's always promising.
Yeah, there's like we can do like a set style, which would change the entire map style, but like I wonder if that'll run into performance problems. But I guess because we're just doing like one update every couple hundred milliseconds, wouldn't really hit any like janky performance problems or anything like that. Probably.
Theoretically, there's not like a get layer. There is a get layer. So if I get the layer, can I then like get layer dot set?
I actually think that we can do one better than that. I think that we could there's a command called set paint property, and there should be one called set layout property. And then we just reference the layer by ID and update the icon image property with the new image ID that we want.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is exactly
that's the one
what
that we want. That's what we want.
Okay, so I'm going to map set layout property Charmander. Then I want to set layout and icon image Charmander.
I don't think we need to do layout. I think we can just directly say icon image as the second argument and then Charmander left foot as the third argument, I think.
Okay. So at first, this isn't going to do what we want because what's happening is it's going to just do like one change.
Yeah. But we can set up a little dictionary and cycle through them.
Okay, so it did do what we want. And so now if I have, let's just set up our images, Charmander stand, left foot, and right foot. And then we can do images dot for each, load image, map image. Okay, so that'll get all those loaded. And now we can do, I guess we'll like do we want to do something like this where I'm basically going to take like a modulus, or do you have a better way?
What I would probably do, and maybe this is janky, but I would have an array with all the sprites that we want, and then just shuffle through them by incrementing the index that we're reading.
Isn't that what I...
Oh, yeah, no, that's exactly what you just did.
Okay. All right. I was like, hold on, did I do something?
I was like half paying attention and making sure that the method that we called was the right one.
Okay. So I'm going to get images count plus plus.
Yeah.
No. Modulo 2. No. 3. Jesus, I'm so bad at this. Math is hard. Oh, wait. No,
yeah.
Okay, so we want to do something else. I want to... Is this going to give me problems?
Oh, no. No, I think that is what you want. That is what you want. But then we want to change modulo to 4.
Look at that.
Hooray. Dancing Charmander.
That's also awesome. How I walk. Okay, so we've got a dancing Charmander. This is wonderful. This is exactly what we wanted. So then, it seems like we need to do.
Me, I gotta say, just 12-year-old me would be so upset that I have Charmander in here and not Squirtle. Because like I always chose Squirtle. Squirtle was my guy. He was my starter,
Holy
and
buckets! Did that just work?
I have betrayed myself. Betrayed my pal. But that's fine. Charmander's way more photogenic. You want to say Squirtle on stream.
That's true. That's true. Charmander is both more photogenic and vocogenic. What is what's the? Is there actually a word for that? Like a word that is more,
like more fun to say.
Yeah, more pleasant to say than another. All right. So it looks like what we need to do next, I think, seems like there are two things. One is we want to resize this so that it's not quite Godzilla scale.
Yes, that is very true.
And then you wanted to have him follow a path.
Yeah, he wants to walk to work.
Yes.
Everybody's got to contribute to late stage capitalism here. So the way that we want to size him down, I think it's icon dash size, but that's the property, or is it icon scale? I can also just look. I'm not an infant, sort of. No, is it icon size? I'm so dumb.
Icon scale. I'm just gonna try things. Well, that certainly.
No, it's icon size. It's icon size.
Okay.
And I think it is just a scale property.
Is it like a string or?
I think we could just try like 0.25 and see what happens.
0.25.
Should have the spec open.
There we
go.
Look at him go. Okay. And then do we want? So right now, Charmander is centered on our point. Do we want to move the origin to the bottom so that his shadow falls on the point?
Yeah, we could do that. There is a property for that.
We got a prop for that.
No, we definitely do. It's icon offset, I think.
Icon offset.
And I think that takes an array, like a tuple, like an array of two values. And the first one is the X offset and the second one is the Y offset. And I think it's in just straight up pixels.
Oh, wait, I did that backwards. Almost.
Cool. I wonder if there's a way to make him scale when we zoom without writing an expression. Yeah, I think that if we wanted to have him like scale so he stays the same size as you zoom in or out, we'd have to write like a little like expressions are how you do logic in styling in Mapbox.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can like tell Mapbox GL to like interpolate the size of the icon based on position. But like, we don't have to worry about that right now. Let's get him walking. Because digging into expression syntax is like really advanced stuff.
Yeah, I'm not super worried about that.
And I mean, like, I don't know, I feel like moving along a route is pretty advanced stuff too, but I've never used the Mapbox direction API, and I actually really, really want to play with it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you want to go to docs.mapbox.com/API playground?
Yes. So the Talvs, the shadow is in the image. The size based on zoom is what we were just talking about. That's going to be like into stuff that's going to be hard, and we're kind of short on time, so I want to get along I want to do like animated along in direction.
Yeah, in order to scale size based on docs.mapbox.com/API playground, API-playground, and then we can like look at the right request to make.
Okay.
And I guess is there an option to just change? I think after the hash, type directions. I think that we only directly link to it.
Like this?
No, I think after the hash / do directions and see if we can see if that works.
Retrieve directions.
There we go.
Okay.
Perfect.
So I have my starting coordinates, right? So oh wait.
Yeah. So there are two values. Like they're in there, like by default. There's like your lat and your long, and then a semicolon, and then your ending lat and long.
Oh. Oh, I understand. Okay, so
Yeah.
this is our starting, and then our ending is going to be, let's see. So Charmander.
Let's go to geojson.io and find our spot.
Charmander works at Bless Your Heart, I think. That seems right.
I mean, I believe it.
Yeah.
You can cook them burgers. Is it burgers?
Yeah, it's like a smash burger restaurant. Closest thing to a good smash burger you can get in Portland outside of coming to my house. Okay, so we're gonna go to Bless Your Heart Burger.
Maybe it doesn't do points of interest.
Yeah, it looks like it doesn't.
Oh, that's lame.
I mean, if we just go to like Mapbox, can we look this up here somewhere?
Yeah, we can. We totally can. Yeah. Gonna bless your heart burger.
Don't you give me that.
I think you might have to be closer for it to pull it in.
It does like whoa. Whoa. What don't you like? Alberta? Alberta's up here. Bless your heart.
I guess I don't know.
You
Something
sassing
must be
me,
up with the
Mapbox?
geocoder.
Bless your heart. Doesn't like. Man, it really doesn't like that.
Man, yeah, I don't know.
Okay, well maybe he doesn't work at Bless Your Heart. It's literally right here. Like you see it. It is on this map.
Well, the good news is if you go into like the select data mode, you should be able to find the lat long coordinates. So if you click on the POI, like the restaurant icon,
Okay.
and then click on POI label for the layer, and then click on to select data, which is it's the very top. Okay. And then if you click on the exact data that you want, which is right there, click the restaurant, yeah. And then it should pull up the data about the POI. Which, does that not contain the Latin long?
Details? Give me some.
No, it wouldn't be in there.
Deets? Background layer?
Well, I think we can get close by copying the Latin long out of where the studio viewport is, which is at like in the top menu bar.
Here?
Yeah.
Or wait. Those are basically the same.
But they're the same. They're the same.
Okay. So I'm just going to use these.
I'm positive there's a better way to do that. I just don't know what it is.
Latitude between 90 and 90?
Oh, maybe it wants them in a different order. I can never remember whether we want lat long or long lat on things.
Okay, I'm gonna give Charmander a different starting point. Let's pick this house, and then we'll grab this here.
I think we were on the right track. The problem was we had the arguments in the wrong order. So if you do like Command Z on the coordinates menu, and we just put 122 in front or behind 45.
Got it. Okay, so here's our route. Is that not right?
Invalid input.
Well, it gave me a request URL. Is that not right?
Right, but it's also running your request, and there's an error. Oh man, golly.
Latitude, -90 and 90. Maybe we were wrong and it was the other way that was backward.
Oh, my bad.
So let's try this. I'm going to take this one and try that. Hey, look at
There
that.
we go.
Okay, and so we're going to get walking.
And then
Try it
we
again.
want to enable geometries because that's what we care about.
Okay. Does it
And do
matter?
GeoJSON. Yeah.
Okay.
GeoJSON is easier to work with.
What's an overview?
I have no idea what the overview is. This is one of the reasons I wanted to do this is I've never used the directions API before.
I like this. We're learning together. This is also very cool that you can just kind of say like, I want directions and like pass in API stuff. And so raw JSON comes back.
Yeah, like we could either like make that request in the app, or we could copy the result as GeoJSON, which is the contents of that geometry like block in there.
This is cool. Okay, so we can just take this straight out and feed it to the map,
No,
or
you can take that out and then like make a fetch with it.
oh,
And
if
then
we're just gonna
fetch
write a
will,
fetch, we can just
yeah,
grab this.
yeah. So we can just copy the API response.
Okay.
And I think what we really care about is the geometry key in that response. And that contains the GeoJSON of like the line connecting the two places. And then we can use that as a data source and create a line layer
Okay.
to like show the path. And then interpolate Charmander walking from point to point.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get just the geometry. So I've got my coordinates.
Yeah.
Right? And then I'm going to drop the rest of this out. And if I did this correctly, that'll auto format for me. Nice. And it did. Okay, so I have my directions. So then...
Yeah, so kind of similar to like what we did with our point layer to show Charmander, we want to make a line layer to show the route on our map.
Okay.
And there's like a Mapbox GL plugin that will do this for you, but it won't give you like the direct raw access to like style it the way that you want and like do all the little fine detail things that we're doing.
And is this a source or a layer?
Yeah, so this would be a source.
Okay, so map.add source. This is going to be walking directions. And then the type is GeoJSON. And the data is directions?
Yeah, although I'm not sure if we should try that. I'm not sure if it's valid though, because like there are a couple extra keys that it might need like feature collection. But the console should yell at us if it's not valid.
An image with this name already exists. Okay, so I need to do what was it?
That I guess we might be accidentally adding the image image with the same ID twice.
So I'm going
okay.
to how do I want to do this?
I'm also like, if we get that error, it's not breaking anything. Like, I don't worry about that.
Okay, all right. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. Then, all right. So I did a thing. It looks like it didn't give us an error.
Okay, and then I guess that our source is that probably means that our source is like defined properly. So now all we need to do is add a style layer that references that source, and then we can draw the line for Charmander to walk along.
Okay.
So the same way that we add a layer for Charmander, we want to add a layer for like our
all right.
Our walking route.
I'm gonna group these. So we've got directions stuff. And so I'm going to map.add layer. No, yeah, add layer. And then this gets an ID of walking. Source. No, wait, I don't need a source, do I?
Yeah, you want to do the source. Basically, almost exactly the same way as we added the Charmander layer. We want to use the same type of stuff. So we want to reference the walking direction source.
Okay.
But the
Type.
deal is this one, the type, instead of being a symbol, is going to be a line.
Line. And then I need paint.
I think we can just leave this and see if it renders. And the default should just be a width of 1 and color is black. And there we go. We've got our root. Cool.
All right.
Cool. All right. So we can leave this for now, and we can do fancy styling for the line in a minute. Let's see if we can get Charmander actually walking before closing time. So what we want to do is like Charmander starting at this position, and then we've got like a hard right turn and then a hard left turn, and they walk into the middle of the block. I guess they're going into like the back door of the burger place, which is legit. They're known. They're known. So what we want to do is we don't want to like just set their position of like first he's at the starting point, then he's at the right turn, then he's at the left turn. I think what we want to do if we want to get it to be really fancy is interpolate between the two values, and then every frame, like every browser frame, update Charmander's location to move them towards like the next coordinate in our array of coordinates. So we'll need to have some sort of tweening library to make that easy for us.
Okay.
GSAP is my favorite, but there are many tweening libraries, and if you have a favorite, I'm trying to roll with whatever you like.
Is it just GSAP?
I think it's just GSAP. I have the docs open. I can just look. Install. Yes, it's GSAP.
Okay, installing. And then up here, do I just like import GSAP from GSAP?
I think that it's a named import, but I could be wrong about that.
Actually, move this up here.
GSAP 3 is here, blah, blah, blah.
Import tween max. Getting help from
smart.
XDesro.
Thank you.
Okay. And I've never used this before, so you're going to have to walk me through this.
And then I think what GSAP likes to do is modify, like tween properties of an object. There might be like a newer, fancier way to do this because GSAP 3 exists now, but I've never used GSAP 3. But I'm pretty sure that we can just use it the same way and tween object
GSAP
properties.
3? We are using GSAP 3.
I believe so.
Okay.
But it looks like it works the same way. So I think what we want to do is store our line string coordinates in an object, unless we want to do like a deep reference for like const directions dot coordinates.
I think
0,
that's
0 or something.
I think that's fine. We can just grab them out.
Okay, cool. So we want to do like, let's see if we can get something minimal working. So like go gsap.to and then
Wait,
object. What? Sorry. Okay, let me think how to do this. So how GSAP works is it wants to tween properties of an object. But because our objects are not like just straight up JavaScript objects, they're buried, we have to access them from like a from the Mapbox GL context. I think what we want to do is run GSAP to tween properties of an object, and then each frame use like the GSAP on update callback to read what our new value is, and then update the Mapbox GL layer.
I'm very sorry. I'm super lost on what I'm supposed to be doing. Because are we using GSAP 2? Like what should I be importing?
No, I think that we're on the right track.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see if we can do this. Type out tweenmax.to, which is how GSAP tweens an object from its existing value to a new value that you specify.
2.
And then the first argument is our object. which I guess would be directions.
Directions.
And then the property. Ooh, can you reference deep properties?
Great question.
I don't
Should
know
I
if you
just
can.
let me just I'm gonna hack this up, I think, so that we
And turn it
can.
into like a flat object.
What do you need it? So like tween directions. What do you need in here?
So let's do this. Let's do flat, like a flat JavaScript object, and
Mm-hmm.
do like start it like step one lat, step one long, and then two lat, two long, three lat, three long, and
Okay.
like and on and on. And then I know for a fact that we'll be able to like easily grab those.
Let's do lawn, and then I'm just going to duplicate these down so that we can three, and we need a fourth. So we'll just do 4, right? And then these I'm just copying to 4. I really hope this works because I'm spending a lot of time doing it. Okay, so I think the way this is going to work is that if I have all the multiple cursors and I just paste, indeed it does just work. Okay, so that gives me all of my latitude and longitude. And I believe I got this right where latitude, longitude. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I need now, okay, so now we're ready to do the tween thing. So I'm going to write it here and then we'll move it where we need to move it. So tween max dot two, and then you said tween directions. And then what was how do I do this?
Oh man. Oh my gosh. I think I got turned around here. So what tween max is doing is modifying the property of an object, and we want to read from tween directions and modify the property of something else. So I think what we need to do is tween directions is good and it lets us read from something, but what we
Okay.
want is an object to hold our char manager position. So we want like char pause, and then it can just have a lat and long property. And then what we want to do is initially set that to our start position, and then tween that, and then like tween that object and have that position constant what we're updating Mapbox GL with every frame.
Okay, so I have this, and then so this is my starting point. So I don't need I don't need the first one?
Yeah, so I don't think that you need that. And then I think what you want to do is like tween max dot to position, and then okay, hold on, I gotta look at the dots. Tween object property. Oh, okay, cool. So you can just use the property, um, uh, like the ID of the object property that we want. So like tween max, and then dot to position, and then we have an object, and then the first property of that object would just be lat, and that means that we'll be updating the lat property to the value that we specify.
Okay. Yep.
So we want like lat, and then tween it to tween directions dot lat one.
And then the same thing for longitude.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm assuming I need this
And then
for each step. Right? Is that right?
yes, but I don't know if it will automatically chain them. So I think you might want to do like dot two, dot two, dot two.
Got it. Okay. Now I'm not sure where to put this.
I think what we want to do is put that in our callback. Like if there's a callback that we can hook into where we know all of our images are loaded, so we can like wait for Charmander to load and then start running that.
Okay, so I've got like Charmander here. This is once we've loaded.
Yeah.
Now I guess
Oh, and one more thing. I think we want a duration on each of these, on each of those tweens.
okay, so I'm moving this all to the bottom. And we want a duration, like is the duration in the object or is it as a third?
Yeah, it's in the object, I think.
We'll just set it to like second and a half. That's going to be very odd, but that's okay. All right, so I've got all of this set up. I don't quite understand how this is getting into the map yet.
It's not. So
Okay.
what we want to do is write an update function and then call that by using tween max's on update hook. So we can like create a separate function that we can reuse, so we don't have to write an inline function in each dot two, basically.
Okay, so I have a function. Am I in a
like update Charmander or something maybe?
Yeah. Okay, where am I? I want to make sure. Okay, update Charmander. And then that's just a function.
Yeah,
And
and I
I'm
think what we
so
want
bad
to do,
at not writing. Let's see. I always write the arrow
Right.
functions, and I never. Okay. So I have update Charmander. Am I putting this tweening in it?
yeah, so there's like, what we want to do is call update Charmander. No, I'm sorry, you're not calling your tweens in there. What we're doing is, if you repaste there, there's like after duration, do like comma, and the callback I think is called on update. I lost myself in the docs. Yeah, it's on update and camel cased.
Okay. Okay. And then in here, we are going to, I take it, we want to change the Charmander position, which is here.
Yeah, I think there's an update source called like a Mapbox GL API method.
Map.update source? Or is it set source prop? No.
No. I'm a looking. Maybe we can just add the source with the same ID and replace it.
Okay. Add source.
Yeah, that's what they want us to do.
Okay, so I'm just going to grab this then. And we're going to...
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Okay, cool. No, it's easier than that. We can do map.getSource, and then we reference the ID, and then we set data.
So just like map.getSource.
.getSource, and then we pass in the source ID, and then we chain a call onto it.
Start. And then we... what was the call?
It's set data.
Set data. And I need...
And then we want to pass in some updated data.
Okay, and the updated data is not quite going to make sense in the...
So what we want to do is Yeah, it has to be that whole GeoJSON blob.
Okay, so that's fine. We can make that work. And I'm going to do it like this, where we do position lat and position lon.
Yeah, I think that should just about do it.
Okay, so let's just try this and see what happens. Oh, I stopped.
Oh no.
I didn't restart that.
Hmm.
Tween
Oh, we
max
must have imported
2.
it bad.
Yeah. So I think. Oh no, you can't
Someone in
chain.
chat, I think, had a good idea.
You can't
Oh,
chain
you
dot
can't
two.
chain them. Maybe if we use a timeline instead of tween max.2. Or we can just remove the chained calls and just see if it works first, and then worry about chaining it.
Well, what about this? It looks like in 3 you just do. Oh wait, is this too much? Maybe we don't want to learn GSAP 3 right now. Um,
Oh, RM Kubik had a good idea that we could start the next tween in the on complete of each tween, or we could use instead of using tween max, we could use timeline max, which that actually might let you chain too.
timeline max. Okay, so let's try timeline max because I like the idea of being able to just
Yeah, me
timeline
too.
max. Timeline max
I'm
dot
looking at
two.
um, I'm looking at the docs here, and it looks like you have to define. Oh, I think it's because we're importing wrong. Someone in chat had an idea that we need to do, like you import timeline max from gsap/all, and that's how you get the import right.
Import timeline max from gslap slash
gslap.
all.
I think that's.
Oh come on, we're so close to being done here. Don't do this to me.
Oh, come on.
Okay,
Come on.
so okay, let's do the tween max thing because the tween max thing was close. So here's our tween max, and I'm going to create an array of tween maxes. Right? And then
Yeah.
we'll tween
Oh, we
max.
could also set a delay and just make each one's delay like the sum of all the other delays, and then call them all at the same time.
I like where your head's at because
Highly
that
janky. That's what you do if you're a
do
real brain genius.
not give a crap. So the delay on the first one is 0, right?
Oh, another
Delay.
thing, the durations are in seconds, not milliseconds with this library. So we want to do like
Oh,
1.5.
we'll just round up to 2. 2 delay of 2, and for our last trick, delay of 4, and we'll set this to 2. You gonna work now? Come on.
Oh no.
Oh, it worked, but it like took so long to load that it didn't. Look at him. Look at that. It's so it's like it's for whatever reason fading him in every time, which is kind of a bummer. But
That's weird.
yeah.
Like that wasn't doing that before. That's really interesting.
So what we can do though is if I take this and we make this a circle and we paint, and it was circle
I think
radius,
it's yeah, circle dash radius.
and we'll make this like a radius of 4, right? Then this I'm basically just going to take this all out for a second because what I want to see is if it's doing what we want.
Right. No, this is a great idea.
Oh, where's my circle? There's my circle.
So I think what we want to do is, I think we're starting the tweens before the map is ready because it looks like
Yes,
it's like just jumping into midway.
I think you're right. Okay, so I'm going to set it to be. Do we have a map on load? That is map on load.
That is on load. Maybe we have to hook into like when we add our layer. Yeah.
Hacks abound.
Yeah. I'm about it.
I'm just going to give it like 2 seconds. Nope. 2 seconds to think. I mean, it's close.
Did it skip down to like the bottom of the map?
It does like an initial jank, and I imagine that's something that we don't know to listen for. But
I bet that we're tweening to a weird value.
You are probably correct.
I bet that we have like one of the lawns and lats jumps it.
Okay, so
our Charmander start position is not from where the root is starting. That's what the deal is.
That in.
Remember?
No, that should be where Charmander starts from.
Is it? Okay, maybe not. So. Never mind.
I don't know. We can look at it real quick. I also we gotta start shutting down here. All right, so we have Charmander. We've got a paint issue. Something is going wrong.
Yeah, something's going on.
And I don't know if that's like I'm not 100% sure what's happening, but I think we might have to take the wins that we've got, and what we can do is troubleshoot this later and submit a pull request to the repo to show what needed to change to make that work.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, let's do it because I think like we're really I feel like we showed the critical parts and now we're just into the fiddly bits. So
yeah, no, that's so true. That's so true.
Yeah, so I feel like this is really really cool stuff. We covered a lot here. So let's end it here. Eli, this was super fun. Like I love how much customization we were able to do on a map with like me having literally no idea how any of that worked. So that was it was really fun. I feel like we covered a lot of ground. We got to play with Pokemon. So I think we ticked all the boxes today.
Yeah, it was fun. I really had a good time. Thanks so much for having me on. And hey, if anybody's watching who thinks like working on design tools and writing really intense JavaScript and C++, but like also being able to work on apps that allow people to create fun, creative, beautiful things, like hit me up, jump in my Twitter DMs. I would love to talk to you.
Yeah,
go talk to Eli. Cool and you want to work with me,
and just
make it happen.
Even if you don't want to work with him, just go follow Eli. He's a good people to know. People want to know more about your Game Boy game, so make sure you're tweeting about that so that people can follow along. Chat, stay tuned. We're gonna raid. Eli, any parting words before we wrap it up?
No, just make sure that you get out there and you stay in school and you catch all 151 Pokemon.
Excellent. And make sure you tune in next week. We have Angie Jones on Tuesday. It's going to be super fun. We're doing visual testing. We're going to get into Cypress and Applitools, and I'm really, really excited about that. I've got Shirley Wu coming back on the show. We're going to collectively try to figure out how Nuxt works because neither of us has ever used it before. We've got Dom, one of the Party Corgi friends, is coming on. We're going to play with REST, Apollo data sources, and GraphQL. There's just so much good stuff. I mean, Gift is coming on. I got Dan Mall. Dan Mall is going to come and teach design systems, and holy crap, am I excited about that. Zach Gordon's going to come on, and we're going to do WordPress. I mean, there's just like, there good things abound on this show. I'm so excited for everybody who's coming up. So please go mark your calendar. You can actually now, if you go to jason.af/lwj/cal, I think it is. Boy, I hope that works. It's going to give you, yeah, that's me. I'm not going to log into my Google account on this browser. So What that'll do though
Oh,
is
go ahead. Type your social security number. No, it's great.
on your Google Calendar though, that'll add upcoming Learn with Jason episodes so that you can see them on your calendar. So yeah, definitely do that. All right, y'all. This has been super fun. I really appreciate everybody coming to hang out. We will see you next week.
Thanks so much, everybody. Take care.